back. Not too much.
Let's get in the shop and build some.
Hey guys, it's Alan, Front Page Fab, and we're in the shop today working on a project I've been talking to you guys about for a little bit here and finally getting started on it. So what we're going to make, I'm looking for a field cultivator. I have a rototiller, does great. But with the little subcompact tractor, it's kind of hard to control the depth. And you end up with a pretty deep seed bed. And I'm looking for something to do a little better job. I'll probably use the rototiller in the fall for fall tillage, deep till, turn all the organic matter down and all that stuff. And then use a field cultivator in the spring. Now what we're going to do, if you look up on the good old internet, a perfecta field cultivator, that's kind of what I'm going to style after. But those things are between $3,000 and $4,000 for a 5-footer with rolling baskets on it. And I'm not paying that. So I come across a rolling basket at an auction about a year ago, and I snagged it up for, I don't remember, it was $80 or $90, something like that. Good deals, brand new basket, literally brand spanking new. It's about a 58-inch wide, I believe it is. And that kind of got me to thinking, what can I do with it? I'll make something. And then I researched and I come across the perfecta, from back when I was little and we farmed. We had straight field cultivators. You'll see big rigs that'll have a big called a mulch or whatever they call it's like a field cultivator with discs and all that on steroids. And then back behind that, they're towing a big old rolling basket setup. So kind of the same thing, only we're going to do it with something I can hopefully pull behind my subcompact tractor. And I'm sizing it so that in the future when I upsize to a bigger tractor, I've got an implement that can go right with it. So that's kind of what my plans are as we move forward. So I've just been down here for a little bit. I've been I already had my square tube cut. And I'm using a 2-inch square tube. And the frame, I'll make a frame for the rolling basket. And then I'll have arms come up that'll attach to the field cultivator. That's going to be 3-inch by 1/4 inch. And I might put a stiffening rib in it. We'll see how that goes. And then I'm also going to have some springs. As many of you know, my day job is I'm IT manager for a spring manufacturer. So I have access to various springs, whatever we want to make, we can make. And actually, the president of the company told me about this. I was going to use some of the ones I had made for my landscape rake deal. By the way, I still have some of those. If anybody wants to watch that video, I have plenty on hand. If you want to order some, just reach out to me. I'd be happy to sell them to you. Anyway, talking with the president, he said, no, don't use those as a round wire. Use square wire. They'll last longer. I could also use spikes like they use in Umberverth uses in their perfecta, and I have used those in the past with a pulverizer when we use it for landscaping. Problem with that is those bend, and once they bend, they're pretty much toast. Because usually after they've bent, if they don't bend too bad, you can heat them up and straighten them, put them back in. But after a while, they just bend and they're useless at that point. So I thought I would try these made out of a square wire. As you can see there, it looks like about a 1/4 inch to 3/8 inch square, 5/16 square wire. We're going to give that a try on these. We also manufacture springs with even heavier square wire, so I can go that route if I need to, but we're going to try these. So that's kind of what my plan is. Let's get started. So, kind of intro what I've been doing. This is what I've been working on. So this is what I've been working on right here, just kind of getting things laid out. I have 4 tines on, just to kind of get an idea. On the perfecta, they do 3 rows, and according to a video that they've done, they spread them 20 inches apart. The distance from here to here. I laid it out that way, and that's about 48 inches sticking back, which is quite a bit. I also did some other looking. There's a video that Tractor Time with Tim did a while back when he was out. I believe it was in Colorado. And they did a demo on a perfecta for leveling an arena. And then they also used something similar to this, a two row. And one of the things, and they did their comparison, was with the Umberverth 3 row, you couldn't turn very well. You had to just basically make straight runs, lift it, turn around, drop it, and go, which is kind of what you normally do when you're out in the field. For an arena prep where you've got to kind of go around a radius, the 2 row seemed to work better. So I never know what I'm going to be getting into. So what I decided to do is I found this one on the internet. It's a 2 row, and there's another view of it. Somewhere here, yeah, right here. You can kind of see this is not 20 inches apart. In fact, you know, you have where that sticks up forward, and then you have your tine there. So basically it looks like the front edge of that is at the back edge of that. So what I tried to do here, see if I can kind of show you that. I kind of tried to lay this out kind of the same way. So if you notice, the back edge of this tine here is just about lined up with the front edge of here. So doing it that way, that gives me about 11 inches. Grab a tape measure here. Gives me roughly 11 inches between the tubes. So I think I'm going to go with that because that gives me an overall of 28 inches, and I like that. That way I don't have so much weight hanging off the back of the tractor, because you know, you keep in mind here that even though that's 28 inches, I'm going to have a row of those spring spikes in the back here, and then I'm also going to have that rolling basket back here. So I'm going to have quite a bit of weight, and the further back it is, the more of a lever it becomes. So that's why I'm trying to shorten it up as much as I can, and have it so that I can use it on my little tractor, or it'll be just fine when I go to a bigger tractor. And in that 2 row picture you saw, there was 11 tines on that. Just like where the perfecta, they use 3 rows for the same amount of tines. So I have that option if I want to, but I may go 2 row here, I'm not sure yet. I'll figure it out as we go. But I want to use the back tube for my mounting for the rolling basket and the spikes, the spike harrow. So that's kind of what the game plan is. So follow along. All right, so what I did, having that spaced out the way I did, I've got a total of 28 inches from the front edge to the back edge, and I'm going to go ahead and add 2 inches on the back of it, so I have a place to mount the brackets for the rolling basket. Yeah, so we're going to do 30 inches. So this is 1/4 inch. This is 1/4 inch by 2 inch. 30 inches. So we're going to cut that. Just helps if I plug it in first. Okay. All right. So we'll get these pieces cut and we'll catch back up here in a minute. Okay, what I've done here is I've gone ahead and cut my end pieces, and then I measured, I cut it 2 inches long. So here's my 2 inches. Then I want to drill a 1/2 inch hole right in the middle of that. So I've got my measurements. I'm 1 inch in the middle there, and I'm centered on both sides. So we're going to go ahead and center punch the hole. Or mark it, I guess is the best way to say it. Okay, we've got our marks. That one off just a smidge. There, that's better. Okay, so we've got them center punched. Now we'll head over to the drill press and we'll get those holes drilled. Okay, get our drill bit set. Then I'll get my vise up here. Yeah, we'll be pretty good shape on that. All right, as I said, we're doing it in, we got to do this in multiple stages. Okay, here we go. Now you'll notice I'm running the drill press at a pretty slow rate there. That's just because I run such a wide variety of thicknesses of steel that I just leave it on a slower setting so it kind of covers all the bases. That way I'm not constantly adjusting the belts to achieve a faster or slower speed. All right, let's grab another one. All right, now that I've got everything, this piece is cut, I've got the holes drilled. Now I'm going to attempt to do this by myself. What I've got to do is I've got to get the end piece put on here. And I know these three aren't squared to each other, so I'm going to use a piece of angle iron that I have and see if I can do this one-handed. I have my clamps set up, so we'll try and get one end done on okay. Now I got to do the same thing back here. Okay, that kind of holds them on, and then I can work on squaring things up. Actually, I may have to turn those clamps to the inside. Let's see here. We'll just see what we see, won't we? Okay. All right. Now I just need to square these, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this piece, move it back. Ooh, that changed the game a little bit. Huh. It's all right, I can deal with this. So now I just got to make sure I'm square, so I got those clamps. I want to move this one to the inside. Why, you ask? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I want to put my square out here, and if I have the clamps on the outside, then they'll interfere with my square. But if they're here, there. Now we'll get my square and we'll square up the outsides. And once I have the outside square, both ends. I'll set up both ends and they're square. Then I've already measured, so we'll know pretty darn close within a 30-second or so on the middle piece. I've got it marked, both sides. So we square the outside too, and the middle one will fall in place. All right, we got a square. Let's see where we're at. Let's see how square we are or aren't, which I can tell right now we aren't. That's square. Close. Nice. That's a very nice. Nice and square. That's what we want. Yeah, there we go. All right, that looks good on that side. Now we'll go over and we'll do the other side and get that tube square. And then I'll go over there and I'll get things on that. I just figured it'd be easier if I square one side and then do the other. Let's see. See if I'm right or wrong. All right, now we gotta slip this back. Not too much. That looks pretty good right there. All right, so now I got to go over on the other side and get this set up the same. So let me get my clamps and I'll get things set up. So okay. We've got everything trued up. Both sides is basically we're ready to weld. So that's what we're going to do next. Get those end pieces welded in, get it all tacked in place, double check everything. And once we do that, then we're going to start on the 3-point setup. Because my 3-point setup, that's what I'm using this angle iron here for. It's going to come back here, all the way there. And once I get that done and cut, get the hole drilled for the pins, then we can move on with more exciting stuff. This part's pretty easy, getting this set. I'll just have to do some measuring to figure out how I'm going to space these, but that's not a big deal. And then we'll get the rolling basket brought in and I'll get the frame made for it, the bearings and all, and then we can start working on everything here in the back. So it'll come along pretty quick here. So thanks for watching, guys. I know this is not a very long video today, but you see what we're doing now. You got a real good idea of what's going on, what's coming. And then, you know, here in the next few days, I expect this to come along pretty quickly. I really do. Not that hard to make. Get your cuts and get everything squared up. Make your hitch. Field cultivator is easy. The rolling basket might be a smidge more intricate, but we'll see. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we're going to keep rolling on this here field cultivator with rolling baskets. So thanks a lot.